Thanks for joining us, the Wealthy Retailer Podcast with your host, Dan Holman. Every episode, Dan dives into the retail headlines that matter to you, the independent retailer, covering topics ranging from retailer inventory, technology, marketing, retailers' questions, and more. The Wealthy Retailer Podcast is brought to you by Canadian Retail Solutions. Learn more at retailbycrs.com. And now, here's Dan Holman.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Wealthy Retailer Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Holman. I want to welcome you to guest one of our new podcast platform. I've got Vash Tomanec with us today. Vash is the founder of Fashiontising, really having great success in digital marketing. And I'm excited to have this conversation with Vash to share with you, our retailers, really what we need to be focusing on as we move forward. Vash and his team help literally millions of dollars funnel into retail stores. And so super excited for this conversation, Vash. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
It's an absolute pleasure, Dan. Thank you for having me. And yeah, very excited to share everything I know. And yeah, I'm doing fantastic.
That's awesome. So retailers, I'll give you a little background. Vash, if you're watching us or listening to us, if you're watching us, you can see Vash, super young guy. Really a leader in his field. If you're listening, I'll give you a bit of background on Vash. He studied at the University of Liverpool. He became a CMO during his studies for Betton, a Czech e-commerce company. And 5 years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, Vash, but 5 years ago, you started freelancing in Facebook and Instagram, which led to a couple of years ago launching your own what you've called Fashiontising. So tell us a little bit about Fashiontising.
For sure. So it all started as I said, freelancing for my friend, his father actually. And what was happening is that I helped him a little bit with Facebook ads. I was dabbling in it, learning from forums, YouTube. And one day what happened is actually he could go full time in his business because the income grew so rapidly. And I was like seeing his smile and I was like, wow. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to help more people, like, live the life they want, because a lot of people set up their business and it's not really a dream. It's more like a struggle. So then what happens is I hit a capacity with my freelancing opportunities in a way, because I just couldn't take everybody on. So I started Fashiontising as an agency where now it's a team of 10 people. And what we focus on is exclusively clients in the fashion industry, whether fashion retailers, fashion boutiques, because that's where we have the most expertise. We can stay on top of trends. And right now, yeah, it's an absolute pleasure. I think we are serving 25 plus clients across the US, Canada, and Australia.
Wow. So your position, just for all transparency, you're in the Czech Republic today. What time is it there now?
Yeah, so we have 4:30 p.m. So I'm closely finishing my day.
It's the end of your day. So yes, we're recording at the start of our day, end of your day. So positioned in Czech Republic, and no challenge working with North America or Australia.
Not at all. So always, like, we find a way to make it happen for our clients, whether days that we have to call their morning time mostly, which is my team's afternoon time. And also because we have team across all continents, that way we are working 24/7 on the client.
Yeah, good.
So when the client is sleeping, we are already working, which is always good.
And so today, are you focused primarily in Facebook and Instagram, or are you stretching out into Google as well?
Yeah, so we have Google still, but it's more like addition, because where we like to start with all new clients is the Facebook and Instagram, especially in fashion. Speaking now, I can't speak for next year or what will be, but right now we see the biggest returns for our clients on Google and Facebook and Instagram, especially if their average order value is not. If they're not selling two luxury products, let's say under $200, $300.
Right.
That way, we see great results. And once they see results and they have bigger budgets to work with, then we add Google as another channel to actually get them in front of more customers. So we do mainly these three.
Got you. And are you seeing some challenge today with the ever-changing algorithms that Facebook continues to push out? And then second to that, what are the new iOS updates doing to us for these new privacy laws? How is that impacting business?
For sure, that's a big topic. And yeah, like who chooses to be in this industry, they need to be sharp. They need to be ready to learn every single day. Like constant doesn't exist in this industry. Like every month there is something new. So that's why we even decided to focus on just few services so we can really be great at them rather than dabbling in 15 services, spreading the client's budget thin. We want to make sure we become experts and really can stay on top of any updates. So with the iOS 14, what is happening is there are a few things. The biggest thing is that a lot of people are opting out. So for Facebook can't track what happens on the store after. So maybe we are bringing the purchases, our clients are having record months, but Facebook is reporting terrible results. So there is a lot of under-reporting, over-reporting, a lot of guessing.
Right.
So basically, how we've been tackling this, there is something called server-based tracking, which is tracking that can be put straight on the server of Shopify, for example. And that way, the data is then sent to us, so we can really see where the customer came from and if they purchased or not. So this is how we are tackling it, but it's very difficult time for people who don't communicate very closely with their clients to explain the situation, because the results could be dropping, but in reality, they're increasing. The revenue is being increased. So it's very important to communicate and educate the retailers about the situation and actually coming up with solutions.
Right. Is there something that retailers should be doing today to help themselves, through this digital challenge? Or are they to simply throw their hands in the air and continue boosting posts? I mean, I think the biggest mistake I see with retailers today, Vash, is they spend dollars over dollars just boosting posts and not having a good measure of, their ROI.
Yeah, and this is always painful for me when I speak to retailer and they tell me, yeah, you're spending X amount of money in ads, and how much is it bringing back? We don't know.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? We just don't measure it. We don't know. So it's like almost like a lottery ticket. You hope it will perform, but you have no idea. So what can retailers do? There are a few things. So what will be more and more valuable will be the customers that you get, let's say, email from, or visitors that you get email from. So we want to make sure, even though we focus only on Instagram, Facebook, and Google, we still want to coach our clients to leverage the revenue that they could be getting additionally from, let's say, collecting emails of potential customers or already existing customers. So whether it's nicely done pop-up that don't pop up after 2 seconds in your face, even though you don't know what website it is, but when it's after 15 seconds, something exclusive for the customer, some benefits to them, great way to start building your own database. Not relying on Facebook, Google, but building your own database. Very important step. Second thing. Yeah.
Go ahead. Second thing.
You go.
Okay. So let's just pause for a second. So you said pop-up. So the collection of that viewer, that visitor on your website, we've got to get an email capture going. And so correct me if I'm wrong, your favorite platform to work on today is Shopify. Is that correct?
All clients are there.
Yeah, Shopify seems to have the best traction for you right now. So if I have a Shopify store, what should I be using to capture email addresses?
Yeah, great question. So there are multiple free or just for a few bucks a month services or apps that you can add on. One of them is Mail Munch, I believe it's called. Again, very simple, customizable pop-up, but it's not more about the app, it's more about the principle. So let me quickly share the principle so anybody today can apply and take it, and within 15 minutes they have it. So first one, don't be annoying. If you don't like yourself when you jump on a new website, immediately you get pop-up. Like you don't even know what they sell if you like their product. So leave there some space. Let's say you can even measure through Google Analytics how long customers stay on average. Okay, if they stay 18 seconds, let's wait 15 seconds until you show it to them. If they stay 30 seconds, maybe show it after 25 seconds. So once the customer have more time, then the pop-up comes up. Now make sure you are actually offering benefits to a client. It's no longer about leave your email address and stay updated. Like, that's not very interesting. Maybe offer some discount or some exclusive access to something so that really the customer feels, wow, leaving my email leads to something beneficial.
Right.
And third one to add to it is what is great about the mail munch is once you enter the email and they click, let's say, subscribe, and you offer discount code, immediately on the same page, they will see the discount code. Because many times it gets them to their email address. People go to their emails to get the discount code, and there is email from their mom, there is email from brother, and they get simply distracted and they forget to finish the purchase because there is some urgency from work, whatever. So if you need to let them stay on the same page. These are 3 principles.
Yeah, good. Very good. Very good. So what do you think creates the most, what I'll call stickiness? Is it a discount? Is it dollars? What do you think is the best? Am I better to offer a 10% discount or $10?
Yes. So what we like to do with clients, 10% from first purchase works like magic. We split as multiple differentiators, but 10% is nice. It's not that too much for the retailer, and for the customer, it's something much better than 5%, which is not that sexy.
All right, good. Okay, so let's move to what's the second thing retailers should do?
Yes. So this all depends on if they're actually running any types of advertising, but you already want to have at least Facebook Pixel installed on Shopify done through 2 clicks, which is actually Facebook's ways to track what your customers are doing. And the same applies to Google Analytics. Again, a few clicks, and you will start collecting already data. Because you might be saying, Vash, Dan, I'm not ready for paid ads. We just started. We'll revisit in 6 months. That's fine, but already you lost 6 months of data that you could be collecting. So if these retailers can start at least installing these Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel, even though they are not running ads, will help them massively in the future because they will have more data to work with. So that's something that's being overlooked.
So right now, whether I'm using an expert like yourself or not, my first step should be to make sure I have a Facebook Pixel and Google Analytics loaded on my Shopify site. So even if I'm thinking, when's the best time to plant a tree 20 years ago, second best time today? Well, let's go back in time and plant those pixels or the analytics code so that at least we can get some traction going forward. So retailers that aren't ready to jump in, both feet in the water in paid advertising should already be tracking their consumer visit, the time spent on your site and where they're going. And does that help the consumer more, or does it help Facebook more? Or help the retailer, or does it help Facebook?
So in a way, both. Because imagine this, Dan. Let's say 6 months from now, the retailer either decides to do it himself or actually hire somebody. Both of them will benefit if they already know if 90% of purchases are coming from women, if they already know that the age that contributes to more purchases is 24 to 35. They will benefit massively if they know that the returning customer rate is 66%, meaning out of 3 new customers, 2 will buy again.
Right.
Again, different ballgame to work with. So, but if they kind of hire expert and they have no data, they will need to spend some money, find these data, collect more data to make more educated decisions. So you will save yourself money and time as well.
Right. Does demographics only come from Facebook, or do we collect demographics on Google as well?
So Google Analytics has much more in-depth analytics than Facebook or Shopify. So we use a lot of Google Analytics, even though clients don't run Google Ads, for example. We use the analytics to make more educated decision. So we see how many times after how many days people buy, which is so important. We can see that people tend to buy on day 8. So they visit on, let's say, today, Monday, and buy mostly on Tuesday next week.
Really?
And again, why is it important? Because Facebook have 7-day attribution window. So if somebody clicks on an ad today and buys tomorrow, it will be attributed to the ads. If they buy next Tuesday, it will be seen as an organic sale, even though the ad actually brought them for the first time. So that's why we use Google Analytics to show even the clients, hey, look, most of your clients buy actually after 2 weeks, especially if it's a higher price point, for example. And again, it allows us to make better decision, the client as well. So right. Google Analytics, very important free tool that any retailer can start using.
Huh. Okay. And is there, Vash, is there like a tent pole, a measurement that says to you, okay, you need to start spending money advertising now? Is there a conversion in Shopify or number of visitors? Like, how does someone know when they should be investing more? At what point does that green light turn on?
Great question. So there are a few indicators we take in place. First one is the organic revenue without paid ads. Because if the client is selling $100 a month, which mostly comes from friends, we know that the product is not proven yet. But let's say if the client is already doing some thousands of dollars a month, then we know, wow, people are actually buying it. It's not just their family, friends, or people who know them. First thing. Right. Second thing is conversion rate of the website. So meaning out of 100 visitors, how many of them buy? If you have 2% conversion rate, 2 people out of 100 buy. But with that, we need to know the average order value, because somebody can have conversion rate of 1%, but $450 average order value. So out of 100 people, 1 buy, which contributes to $450. Somebody could have 5% conversion, which we could be like, wow, but their average order value is $20.
Right.
So we need to take these two in place. And what we like to do is this. Okay, let's say the cost per click on Facebook is on average $1. Again, it depends on state, province, but let's say if we do US, we know certain metrics already. Let's say it's $1. Okay, let's say customer has 2% conversion rate and average order value $100. Okay, so if we bring them $100 people for $100, that will, on average, equate to 2 sales at 100 each. That's 200.
Right.
So we are, for every dollar in, getting $2 back already on cold traffic, meaning people who have never heard about a brand. So this is like quick math I can do, even though the return on investment will be much higher because there will be retargeting people, not just on the first visit. But again, this will kind of help me make more educated decision when somebody who has 1% conversion rate and average order value $30, then we know for $100 we get them 100 people and 1 buy, which equates to $30.
Got you.
Which doesn't make it profit.
Got you. So retailers really should be looking at what's my average order value and what's my conversion, and trying to figure out where's my sweet spot here. My conversion's at 3%. My average order value is 50. Should I be spending money and driving more traffic to my website? And are we driving traffic to websites? So here I am. I'm a retailer. I've got a men's brand or a women's brand, and I've got a 2% conversion, and my average order value is $75. Is this something I should be driving through my brand or through products? How do I advertise? What's my messaging look like to the audience?
For sure. And let me go one step back before I answer a question, because I think this is very important. Okay. That a lot of people see the conversion rate and average order value as something fixed, but it's never fixed. You can always improve the customer experience, for example, to make the conversion rate higher. If you, for example, don't have return policy on your website, the customer is already buying, but they say, can I return it if this shoes doesn't fit me? Then they can't find it. So they say, oh, let me buy from different store.
Right.
So there are a few principles, again, that can lead to higher conversion rate, which makes your store profitable. Or average order value could be increased. Maybe you can offer some upsells. Maybe they can buy 2, get 10% off. You can maybe, if they buy dresses, maybe you have certain shoes that you can show them that go well together. Right. So just these 2 things that retailers need to keep in mind, that if they focus on this, they can immediately increase their revenue by just increasing one of these metrics.
So every retailer should have their return policy front and center on their website.
100%.
So retailers, if you don't have your return policy on your website, you are in fact probably deteriorating your potential conversion, not helping it. Right. And do you have, this may be a bit more philosophical, but what should my return policy say?
This podcast is brought to you by Canadian Retail Solutions. We've been empowering retailers across North America for 30 years with the latest in point-of-sale technology, best-in-class support, merchandise intelligence with open-to-buy planning, and much more. CRS has the retail solution to help take your retail business to the next level of success. Visit retailbycrs.com to learn more. Remember, Canadian Retail Solutions exists to help make you, the independent retailer, better.
But what should my return policy say?
Great. So again, we need to put ourselves in shoes that, because today the guys listening, they're retailers. They have a hat that says retailers, but maybe in the evening, there are moms that are shoppers now. Right. They're going shopping. So now, what is important to you when you shop? You know, when you have returning, do you want the shipping to be covered, or are you okay paying for the shipping?
Right.
You know, do you like 14 or 30 day? So it's important to put ourselves in the shoes of the customer. Even ask our, let's say if they have staff in our physical location, asking our staff what they like, where they buy, why they buy from it. And even you can start sending emails. Let's say what we do with clients, we send email to their whole database when there is some incentive, discount code, or some price to be won for answering few questions. And some of these questions could be, why do you buy from us? I know there's other hundreds of retailers. Why did you choose us? And this will give us what they like, what they desire, what they are paying, what their fears are, what they are missing. And now we can make educated decision, because many business owners think what they like is what their customers like, but it's rarely the case. Sure. So this is one thing. Second, make sure you have, again, this takes five seconds. Free shipping bar on Shopify. The app is called Free Shipping Bar. You can display dynamically how far they are from free shipping. If people hate something, it's paying shipping. They are willing to pay rather $100 for the dress with free shipping than $90 plus $10 for shipping. Same price total, but they hate paying shipping. So if you know, again, a tip to increase average order value. Let's say your average order value is $65. Start offering free shipping over 75. What will happen? That people will put rather one more t-shirt for 20, 30 bucks to not pay for the shipping. And what will it do? You will increase your average order value because people are spending more.
Okay, so let's just recap. We want to have our return policy front and center, and we want to have a free shipping at. And you determine when you're free, where you offer free shipping based on your today's current average order. So increase your average order potentially by your shipping costs. So if you've got an average order value of $50 and it costs you 10 to ship, offer free shipping over 60 and get them to pay you that extra $10 and split the difference. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great. Love that. Love that. All right. What else can we do, Vash, as retailers that don't live in the digital space? You know, as you said, here we are, we're wearing our retail hat. We're merchandising, we're selling, we're cleaning, we're analyzing, we're wearing 25 different hats all the time. Yeah. And the thing that we pay the least amount of attention to are the things that we know the least about. You know, digital marketing lands probably below our love it, like it line in our store. And so what easy things can we be doing to help promote ourselves digitally? Is it more about the images or the messaging?
Yes. So I believe, especially with, let's say, with any type of ads or promotion, the images, especially in fashion, is much more important. Like, let's say if we are selling something more higher average order value, the text plays a role as well, the messaging. But the images, especially with, let's say, average order of $50 to $200, the images is the most important thing. But where a lot of retailers make mistake, but again, I have big respect for them because I speak with them daily and I know how many hats they are wearing. So I have big respect. So this is more advice to them.
Right.
Is that a lot of them think that they need to have these 4K resolution videos, these like super professional. But the thing is, people are getting allergic to ads. You know, they see ad, they skip it. It seems too professional. Let's skip it. It's just natural tendency. So what we've noticed is when it's less professional, if it's try-ons, when is the client with their just iPhone recording it, it looks more natural. And the potential customers, isn't it Susie? Isn't my friend from high school? You know, they start more relate because it's not overly professional. So for example, for one of our retailer in the US that we took from 40K to $500,000 a month in a span of 12 months, she blew up her business when she started recording videos on her iPhone. When the model tries the dresses, walks, do a spin, 6-second video, that's it. It works like magic. It doesn't look like an ad. So
Right.
This is, for example, one example.
Okay. Well, we certainly see try-ons. I truly believe, Vash, that our retailers that are having good success are becoming influencers, not retailers. The retail aspect becomes consequential to their ability to influence their audience. You know, we have some clients that they spend the majority of their time in try-on sessions or video recording with their iPhones more than they're doing anything else in their business. And they're seeing significant results because they're influencing decision-making with these videos. And, you know, you think a 6-second video is target?
For me, it's almost a sweet spot, especially when the customers start to understand the head of the retail. It doesn't have to be the owner. It could be social media marketing, whoever. But once they start to identify with them, when the try-ons is more like, hey, I have these new jeans. I'm mostly, let's say, size small, but with these, it's better medium because it fits me better. Whatever. They start relating because I don't know, but I speak with a lot of women in the retail, and they don't like to go to 55 boutiques finding something for their wedding when they go for some party. They like to have one they trust and they can go over and over and over again. And so if we can create this long-term relationship, when really the head of the retail is focusing on relationships, game over, because customers will be buying from you like crazy.
Right. Okay. And so how many times a day or a week should I be putting these kinds of videos out there, these digital videos? And are they better on one platform versus another? Are they better on Facebook or better on Instagram?
So for example, what is now hot is the stories, especially on Instagram, which is just in 24 hours, it's gone. But again, once you post it on Instagram, there is option to post them as well on Facebook. That way, you don't have to do them twice.
Right. Now, didn't Instagram just start posting their stories to Facebook stories?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Exactly.
That's one of the recent things that's changed, isn't it? That when you post an Instagram story, it's now playing on Facebook as well as a story.
Exactly.
And are you still seeing different audiences on Facebook and Instagram? Or is she using both platforms?
So now, especially for audience under 40, we would say 50, is mostly Instagram is like where the majority of traffic or majority of sales are coming. But we have certain retailers that are selling to elderly audiences, let's say 55 plus, 60, even 70. And Facebook, especially desktop, is much better performing. So again, that's why it's so crucial to understand your demographic. This is why Google Analytics will help, or the questionnaire, and as I mentioned, because it's so funny. For example, we have 2 brands, 2 of them selling swimwear. In a way, you look at them similar. One of them, the main desire is the luxury. The women like saying, I want to feel luxury. I want to feel like significant in a way that I'm wearing this beautiful swimwear. And the second is more like, it's not in design and it's affordable. So the messaging and the positioning will be very different, even though you could say, oh, it's the same swimwear brand, similar. Let's communicate the same way. Very different. One is about luxury. One is about being affordable. So it's very important to understand why people buy from you, from your retail. Like there's some reason they have thousands of other options.
Right.
Why they are choosing you.
Why do they choose you? And do you think today is price point as big a driver as connectivity? Am I more apt to pay more to buy from someone that I can make a connection with, even a social connection or a digital connection, versus buying that same item for $10 less?
I think all it comes down is people buy things based on how they feel.
Right.
So they are not buying the blue dress because it's 70 or 90 bucks. They almost see themselves. And if they can relate to the owner in the blue dresses, for example, relationship is everything. This is why we are leveraging in our ads a lot of the founder story. Because again, people can relate because they see, oh, this founder is running successful business, but they don't know they have other 2 kids that they struggled at the beginning.
Right.
So it's very important to create actual relationship rather than just let me sell some goods.
And how does a retailer start to tell their story, their personal story? Like, how does a founder start to tell the story of, how I dreamt of owning this store and creating a brand that serviced this type of customer? How do I start to tell that story?
Great question. So the most obvious one is about me page or about us page on a website as a side page. So there, put your story, not just we like to create designer goods. No, like put your story, put a face. How old are you? How you started? What's the passion? Why you are doing this? Because I know nobody's doing this for the money. I know deep down there is some desire, some passion. So make sure you share it. Then on social media, leverage it. And lastly, I like to say, do what's not scalable, especially at the beginning. Like put a note to every package you send. Put some little thing that you can do that's not scalable once you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. But at the beginning, especially do them at the beginning, like leave a note or do something special, leave a small gift with every package. And this will go so long way, because when you get a present from a boutique, you're done. You will shop there if you're happy there every single time.
Yeah. And I do believe that the gift does more for us than any discount will ever do. If you give in that, in her package, if you give her a little bit of something, and you said something that retailers need to pay attention to, you need to put a handwritten note in those orders. And if you're shipping out 1,000 orders a day, okay, that's maybe not scalable, not plausible, not possible. But if you're shipping 10 orders a day, putting a handwritten note in there, acknowledging, that they've shopped with you and the impact that they have is critical. People will remember that more than they remember the item that they bought. And then if you add something else into it, something that's new in your store, something you believe in, here's a gift, try this, let me know what you think. You're going to get some feedback and probably create a raving fan in the process.
For sure, because all of us like to receive a package, right? The first moment matters. It's like, ooh, what's there? And when it's packaged, like it's just teared up, you're like, oh, you're disappointed. Even though the item could be good, you're still, But when it's nicely packaged, there's even Vash, some note to me. I'm like, whoa, is how it makes me feel. And I'm like, I can't wait to buy from them again.
Well, it makes you feel important.
Yes.
Right? It makes you feel like you're making a difference for that retailer. And truthfully, we are. When we buy from a retailer online or in store, we're making a difference in their life. And retailers have to do a better job of acknowledging that. And I think, in store, it's easy to look someone in the eye and say, thank you so much. But online, in that package that shows up, and if you're sending your stuff out in a shitty old plastic bag that doesn't have any branding on it, that doesn't have any reveal, are you really creating the impact that you should? And Vash, this is all, here we started this conversation about driving some business online, but now we're talking about creating customers for life by delivering a better presentation. So, retailers take from this, don't just go and spend money to advertise, to bring customers to your store, spend money to keep them as customers for life. Do that little bit more that holds on to them forever, so that it does, like Vash says, makes me want to go and buy again.
Exactly. And you hit a spot then, because I saw it with few clients of my friends who have agencies as well. When they simply, let's say Facebook ads disabled their account or they couldn't advertise anymore, the revenue was like they're building, because there was no returning customer rate. But for example, with one of our clients, there was some issues. So for 2 weeks, we couldn't advertise. But the revenue continued to grow because those people we acquired months ago, they keep returning back. And that way, they're really creating long-term assets. So don't focus on just one-time customers that will pay $100 with you. Ask yourself, how can I make sure this client actually comes back and even leaves $1,000, $2,000 over a year with me and will be happily paying? Because in store, as you said, it's so easy. Like you can create a relationship, how you are doing. So ask yourself, how is your website doing? What job is your website doing? Because your website is a salesperson 24/7 online.
Right.
What job is she or he doing? Is it a good job or quite poor?
Right. And okay, so now I'm sorry, I have to backtrack because there's something I glossed over or missed when we started to talk about Shopify. Shopify for me is really a sort of nickel and dime entity. You get your Shopify site, you're paying your $30 a month or $90 a month, depending on where you are. But then everything you do adds a little bit of dollars, whether it's add-on applications or, most importantly, choosing the right theme. And is theme as big a part of your digital presentation as anything else? Choosing the right theme for your store?
I still believe that photos matter more than the theme.
More. Okay.
Especially in retail, because again, if you go to physical store and you're selling clothes, it's easy. You can try it. You can sense the fabric, everything. But online, we need to portray it. And where I see biggest mistake, let's say that there is one photo. Let's say women dress. There's one photo, and either is just without or on a white background or it's on the model, but now the person have no idea. So it's great when there is, let's say, model and they say their measurements. Hey, this is Caitlin. She is this tall and this is her size.
Right.
Then there is maybe the dress from behind, the dress just on a white background, not on model. It's important because that's how we are conveying kind of the products, and customers are scared. Will it fit? How it will look on me? So we want to answer these objections in advance.
Okay. So let's just take a quick recap here. So number one, good return policy. Number two, pop up to collect the customer after an appropriate amount of time, minimum 15 seconds. Wait 15 seconds before you throw something up in front of them. Make sure, number three, that your pop-up has value. Number four, focus on images, not text. If you're in fashion, let's show good images. And then number five, I think my number five takeaway is to tell a good story. Your why. Tell your why. I don't have a problem telling people my why. Why do I do what I do? And I think that some people do struggle with that. And they forget why they started their business, why they're in it. And so retailers, you really should take a step back and ask yourself, why did I start this? Why did I go into this? I promise it wasn't to get rich. That's not why we choose to do things. That's never our why. Our why comes from a different place than money, than revenue. For some of us, it might be more fame driven, and fame often comes with money or accolade, but you have to understand your why. And then, to Vash's point, let's tell that story on our website. So make sure that we have a good about me, about us page that tells a story of why you did this. Did I get that right?
Spot on, because people can relate. Like, nobody wants to hear, hey, I created this business because I want to get rich. Like,
Right.
But when they see the story, maybe how you grew up, or how after college you didn't know what to do, and then you went to internship, tell your story. People can relate. I buy from businesses that matter. Even business next door, maybe they have better products. I don't know, but I know Bill here, and I want to buy from Bill. Bill is a good guy.
Yeah.
So build a relationship. It's no longer about, hey, let me sell. Build a relationship, and it will serve you for life.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Vash, tell us where we can find out a little bit more about Fashiontising.
For sure. So the best place is you can go to our website, fashiontising.com. And what we actually just launching in a few weeks. I don't know when this episode will be released, but starting of 15th of October, we are actually started for retailers who are confused, uncertain about the online space. We called something Digital Retail Accelerator. And what it will be, it's a 90-day coaching program with my team of experts to really clear all confusion when it comes to online. So when it comes to the conversion rate, emails, pop-ups, website design, photos, social media, ads even, we will be coaching all of these retailers who don't feel confident as with their physical store. So if you would be interested in that, then you can just go to at fashiontising.com/digital retail accelerator, or you can message us at support@fashiontising.com to find out more about us. Or if you have any questions what we covered today, please just email me and we will kind of see how we can provide you some value or answer any questions you might have.
Yeah, Vash, one of the things that I've admired about you, you are very quick to put your hand up, not out. I love that you're offering guidance and help to retailers without saying, this is how much I cost. Here's some advice. Here's how to get you in a better place. I really do admire that about you and your team. I've had the good fortune to chat with a few of your team members. They all exemplify the same. We're here to help retailers grow. And I love that about you. Vash, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Retailers, if you're looking for a little bit of digital guidance, a little bit of digital help, head over to fashiontising.com and click on that Retail Digital Accelerator and see what the opportunity is for you. Vash, thanks again, my friend. Look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Thank you, Dan, for the opportunity. Have a great day.
You too.